Um, so I started watching hockey in 2021, which was arguably like the worst year to start watching hockey, but it was good for me. Gave me something to do, give me something to focus on. And I became a fan of the Flyers. I can tell you that my mom's side of my family are all big Flyers fans. Like my great grandfather, been a Flyers fan since they started. You know, he So I could tell you that, and it would all be true. I'm a Flyers fan because they're gritty. I'll admit it. I can be cringe. It's fine. Um, and I really loved Carter Hart. I loved a goalie. You gotta love a goalie. I thought he was very good. He had his stinkers. Don't get me wrong. He could lose rhythm really quickly, but he was good when he was good. Um, and right when I started watching hockey and getting involved with hockey, the um the 2018 incident at the World Junior Ice Hockey Championships became public. The I'm sure if you stumbled across this video, you probably know what I'm talking about. But hey, in case you don't, your quick rundown of it is that a woman claimed that she was intoxicated, had a consensual encounter with one of the players. After this encounter was over, he had reached out to his teammates, and a few of them came into the room and proceeded to, depending on who you ask, according to the woman, she was too intoxicated. She could not consent. She tried to leave and wasn't allowed. According to the players, she instigated. She was filmed when prompted that she was consenting and everything was fine. When she was asked about it over text, she reaffirmed that everything was fine. Um, but this lawsuit comes out, and it's a huge thing because the biggest takeaway was that Hockey Canada had a slush fund to pay off anyone coming forward with claims of assault or any allegations against their players. Going back decades, like there's an incident from 2003. This was a massive problem. A lot of sponsorships pulled out, a lot of overhaul within the Hockey Canada organization. That was the big takeaway. Um, but the smaller takeaway was that this was a very, very recent event, the 2018 one, which meant that it was more than likely that there were NHL players that were involved. Um, wouldn't you know it, Carter Hart was on that championship team for Canada. And uh, as allegations would later surface in 2024, pardon me, it might have been late 2023, but it was that 23 to 24 season for sure. Um, Carter Hart would later be named as one of the men involved. So that sucked. I'm going to be transparent. I, despite my masculine appearance and deep boyish voice, I grew up a woman. I definitely am perceived as a woman. And I just, when I read the details of that case, I completely understood that I think that she was a terrified person. She was a terrified woman surrounded by professional athletes. And she was scared and she was doing what she thought she had to do to get out of that safely. I don't know if the players went in and were like eager to assault a woman. I hope not. That's a claim that I don't think matters, though. I don't think it matters what the intentions are. I think what matters is that they were I that they were men who should have known better, right? Like I this isn't it was 2018. I was growing up around the same time they were. Let me look up how old Carter Hart is. I swear to God. He might be a year older than me. I know what he was learning about consent. Spelled his name wrong. Yeah, he's 27. Oh shit, that's my friend's birthday. That's fucked up. Not the point. He's 2 years older than me. Almost to the day. So like I know that he knows better. This isn't some bullshit fucking Pete Rose situation. Yeah, I was 30. It was normal to date a 14-year-old. Like which it wasn't. But it's not that. I know they should have knew know better. I know they should have known better. But I don't know. I'm this is a very stream of conscious video for me. It is something I wanted to get off my chest since Vegas signed Carter Hart. I'm devastated that Vegas is going to the Cup Finals. I think it is a massive, massive failure on the organization of the Golden Knights to sign this man to a contract. I think it presents a much larger character issue within the NHL. Um, to be clear, by the way, the players were found not guilty of this instance. I can't speak if that was the right choice or not. To me, it and you feel free to look up this case. Feel free to form your own thoughts based on all the evidence brought forward. To me, while I do think they did it, I think there is enough questionable evidence to find them not guilty. I keep making this comparison, and I'll acknowledge it's not the best comparison because the situations are like just a tad different. But OJ Simpson totally murdered his wife. No, sorry, pardon me, his ex girlfriend. His ex wife? I'm behind on my OJ lore. But he totally did it. And her lover. And he should have been found not guilty, which he was, because the police tampered in that investigation, which should be an automatic free pass for the suspect. Again, not the same at all, but in that sense of you could be guilty of something and there not be enough proof to show that you're guilty of something. And that sucks. But that's for the best. Because that's a better situation than someone who's not guilty being found guilty. Whatever. I'm a prison abolitionist. Sue me. Um. So whatever your thoughts wind up being, I hope that maybe I could at least convince you that none of these men belong in the NHL. They were old enough to know better. In 2018, I was an adult. They were older than me. These weren't kids. They were adults. They knew better. They were media trained. Some of them had expectations for like fame, for NHL careers. Carter Hart, Michael McLeod was a depth piece for the Devils. He was involved. Cale Makar was not involved. He was actually not even on this trip on this championship team. He wasn't there at the event. He was on the team part. Um, but like he was on that team. That's how good this team was. These weren't just some knuckleheads who didn't know any better. Every single one of them knew better. The one thing you know is that you need to be able to get consent, and that if you're too drunk to consent, then you can't consent. You know that. They knew that. Uh, It just it's a massive character issue. And again, like this didn't happen when they were 15. It would have been terrible. They were 20 years old. They were adults. They were sexually active for longer than that, I assume. How many more encounters have they had with that shade? How many encounters did they later have with that shade? If they didn't learn it then, when did they learn it? Have they learned it? I don't know. What I do know is Hockey Canada had a Bible for dealing with women. I don't think they came up with the idea to record her consenting to sex. I think they were told to ensure that you have proof that they consented to sex. I can't speak for everyone, but I'm pretty sure that if I was in that situation, if you put me in a room with like 5 professional athletes and I'm drunk as fuck and they're holding up a phone telling me to say something, I think I'm going to say it. it might fuck me over in the long run, but I think that's what's getting me out of there safely. I'm not saying they had intentions to like beat her up or anything, but I don't blame her for being scared. It's not like she knew them. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, like I said, very stream of conscious. I like had to say it. It's such a fucking bummer, dude. Um, anyway, so yeah, shame on the Golden Knights. I'm devastated that they made it to the Cup Finals. I have never cheered for a team like I am cheering for Carolina to demolish them. Um, I don't know. That's kind of it. That's really all I've got. Um, I just, if they're allowed to be young and make mistakes, why is she like evil and malicious when she was young making a mistake? I don't know. Whatever. Have a good night, y'all. Let's watch basketball or something instead. I don't know. World Cup. I got no idea.